Good evening and thanks for joining us. Moses, I got a chance to catch the Bobcats game last night and a pretty good finish for the last game of the regular season for them.
Yeah, it's a good way to end off on a high note. They got 2 more games to go to end off the regular season. We'll have plenty of highlights and more in sports.
I'm excited to see them. And Gerard, another fantastic day outside.
Yeah, no reason to complain at all. Blue skies, maybe a bit more gusting wind than we would like. The wind chill didn't ease off it like it did yesterday. It stayed with us for the better part of the day. Let's look at it right about now because that wind chill is sitting at -10. During the course of the day, it hovered anywhere from about a -16 in the morning up to about a -7, but right now it's dropping off again. 62% is that humidity. The wind's out of the west, but it's in gusting at various points of the day, at times up to about 33 kilometers per hour, sometimes west-northwest, so hence the reason the wind chill really did not ease off during the course of the day. We're seeing a buildup of cloud cover, which was not the situation during the course of the day as well. We had some nice patches of blue sky and sunshine, certainly not the case in the Battleford, just a few clouds around, but we'll delve into the details of all of that cloud cover a little later on in the cast.
The Maidston RCMP is searching for a missing Saskatchewan teen last seen at Father Gorman School. 14-year-old Natasha Ann Stout has light brown hair and was last seen wearing a white jacket and blue jeans. She's 5'4", roughly 125 pounds. If you have any information about her whereabouts, you are urged to call police. Meantime, Maidston RCMP have identified a 20-year-old from North Battleford as a person of interest after a string of vehicle thefts. RCMP became aware of Justin Chason after he was arrested and charged in Ontario. Police say there they were involved in a chase with a suspect who was found driving a stolen vehicle from Maidston. The RCMP would like to remind drivers to lock their vehicles when left unattended and not to leave valuables out in the open. The vehicle driven by the suspect accused of shooting 2 RCMP officers in Killam has been found. The black 2000 Chevy Silverado was located in a rural farmyard roughly 10 kilometers southeast of the town. A sniper rifle was found hidden inside the truck along with a .50 caliber sniper found nearby. Investigators continue to search the area looking for further weapons, ammunition, and other potential evidence. Well, it's big changes for pharmacists in Alberta, but they're getting mixed reviews. The Alberta government says the transition will lessen the load on local doctors, but with guidelines still very unclear, some pharmacists aren't sure how that move will affect business. And though it may be easier for patients to renew a prescription come July 1st, it could come at a cost.
The Alberta government says it's good news for the province, taking some of the weight off doctors to renew prescriptions, giving that power to pharmacists.
Every time we use the broader team, we can free up physicians and we can better support physicians to see more patients and deal with more complex needs.
The health minister also boasts slashing generic drug prices will save the government to $85 million. But with prescriptions the biggest revenue and this the second major cut in just 2 years, pharmacists aren't sure how to compensate.
That is money directly out of the pharmacy and out of our pockets. Very difficult for us to continue with the level of service for a lot of pharmacies without being able to replace that income.
No set guidelines have been laid out for the July 1st transition. There's no word on how much generic drug prices will actually drop or how much pharmacies will be paid to renew prescriptions. This makes it very hard for pharmacists to prepare for the change.
We don't know exactly what all the rules are going to be around this. There certainly may be certain circumstances, such as in Lloyd or other very rural areas, where if there is no physician available, there may be an immediate need for this to be occurring. Until we get the details, it's very difficult for us to say.
The government says it won't leave pharmacists high and dry.
We will continue to support rural and remote pharmacists with their transition to the new model. Sometimes those pharmacists are harder hit when generic drug prices go down.
But for pharmacists, it's just a waiting game to see what changes July 1st will actually bring.
The biggest concern for most kids these days is doing homework and chores. But one Cold Lake student has been overcoming some amazing obstacles his entire life. As Clayton Brown explains, his friends, teachers, and the community stepped up to help him face his toughest challenge.
Braden White is a grade 3 student at Cold Lake Elementary. He was born with Down syndrome and muscular dystrophy, but his teacher says he never lets that get him down.
And that boy, the obstacles he's up against every day, and he always comes and he's smiling and happy and wants to be here, and he's made such an impression on the kids in his class and their families.
So the school held a cake auction to help Braden and his family. He's outgrown the built-in car seat in the family's current vehicle and needs a wheelchair-accessible van.
Once we have our wheelchair accessible van, then to be able to take them out of the house and just load them up in the van and go and do whatever we want, to the swimming pool or to watch hockey games or to go hang out with family, it'll just make life much easier.
Nearly 100 cakes were auctioned off on Monday, and everyone was overwhelmed with the support.
I was thinking $1,000, maybe max $2,000. I did not believe all these cakes would be here when I arrived. I couldn't believe it.
It's amazing. This community really came together. The school, Mrs. Jingra, Mrs. McHale, everyone that took part, I'm blown away. It feels like there's angels amongst us here.
Just over $7,600 was raised to help pay for the van. In Cold Lake, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
The Border City will play host to the first annual Inspiring Women's Conference. These local residents decided to plan the day after growing tired of driving to other communities for events of this kind.
We'd been to one in Vermilion and we're familiar with one in Camrose, and you know, many years ago there was something along this line in Lloyd, and we just felt that it was timely to have one here. And when we talked to a lot of other women that we know from different walks of life, they were really super enthusiastic.
The pair hopes the affair will allow women to share and learn together while focusing on professional and personal development.
Well, certainly the networking, and you know, I think that helps to motivate people, but also sharing resources and ideas. If there's already things going on, it's an opportunity for us to learn and share what other things are happening in the community.
The February 23rd event will showcase a panel presentation by 3 local women.
We've kind of left it open to them. We've told them why we find them inspiring and what sorts of things we think of when we think of them, but we've left it to them for the most part to say what they want to share with everybody.
Other discussions will focus on health and wellness, financial fitness, and creating balance. The full-day event will be held in the Stockade building at the Lloydminster Exhibition Grounds.